Now, Akasha, I've done a lot of videos on the Hermetics and the Qigong channel on Akashic work, but I'll cover a bit more here. It's something that you can produce through a solid decade of concentration practice. If you have a high concentration on a meditation object, you'll notice things become very still and quiet around the object, and you look at the object through the quietness. You move into the Akasha of the object, and the object literally disappears in front of your eyes. So this type of Akashic work has a very, very high value, and it's a decade of solid work. Now, if I compare having received transmissions from my teacher on Akasha, even though I was experiencing Akashic effects very, very quickly, I was able to breathe the Akasha, equalize with it, put my mind into it. It still took a decade to own it. So I just had the flavor and the concept, and I was able to share it with other people, but my mind wasn't grounded and stable with it because it was given to me. All it did was help me get there and train correctly sooner, rather than doing the hard work yourself. You're still doing the hard work, but what you're doing is more on track with mastering it than if you were just practicing on your own. So find a teacher that has a strong Akashic skill and get the transmissions, and much easier for you to develop and concentrate correctly from the beginning. All right, so I hope that answers the question on the jhanas, and if you have any Buddhist Hermetic comparative analysis type questions, just let me know. I'm not speaking pure Buddhism on any of these videos. Running these through a Hermetic filter because I'm a Hermeticist. I look at Buddhism as the last door. So what I mean is the last door. The non-self ideals in Buddhism take Hermetics to the peak. They peak out the energies. They allow the non-self of not attaching to the God concept and the light of God. When you touch that mind, that reaction, it's merely a reflection of your own resistance to the universal mind. Light bulbs are essentially a resistor that reacts to energy and produces light. The concept of God is resistance to the universal nature of creation. And when you have any experience where you touch divinity and you touch God and there's this resistant field, you'll experience light and an intensity of being in the presence of God. That is a reflection of the karma path to divinity reflecting back at you, and that is what you need to release on to experience the universal nature of God. And this is why the Buddha debated the existence of God and said it's an illusion, because it is. It's a mirror of your own resistance to your own universal nature. So when we look at something like Taoism that enters the Tao, the universal nature of things, that concept of universality is much more in resonance with getting to the other side of interacting with the concept of God. People who talk to God are talking to themselves, literally. They're talking to a reflection of their perception of God, which is the resistance to the universal mind, which forms a type of personality consciousness within their resonance with the universal mind, and they're talking to an aspect of their own being, the resistance they have to their own universal nature. So the Buddha was technically correct in saying there is no God in the sense of an identity that you intellectually interact with. But in the universal nature of lawfulness of creation, that aspect exists because the universe exists, creation exists, and we're here right now, me making this video and you watching that video. So I hope this helps with the nature and benefit of the jhanas, and I've got more videos on that on my Vimeo channel. Have a look at them if you're interested. and getting a bit more depth. Thanks for your time, and see you in the next video.